Okay guys, so in this video I'm going to explain to you what a content type is, or what the header content type actually means. So let's get into it. So let's just walk through these tests first and foremost. So we have these tests, and now you see here I ran all my tests for all of these different little demos that I'm making, or videos or whatever, and you see they're all passing, so you can trust that this code is actually doing what it's supposed to be doing. So let's look at this first test here. Returns 400 if we have the incorrect login credentials. So what we're doing here is that we are creating a request object using with our app. We're posting to just the root. We're setting our content type to application JSON, and then we expect a 400, and then we send a payload with the username and the password set to some random string. So why is this what's going on here? So basically what we're saying here with the content type is that we want to explain to the browser, no, sorry, not the browser, the server. We want to tell the server that, all right, this is the format of the data that I am sending to you. Because when you're sending something from, say, JavaScript or from the browser to the server, or you're posting something or so of that nature, what's happening is that the network call that is being made is converting all the information that you are, or think of it as serialization. It's basically just converting the information. Like this JavaScript object here is now converted down to a string, like to a piece of text. It's going over the internet to the server. When it hits the server, now the server needs to figure out what type of information you actually sent. Now, if you are in a typed language, for example, like Java, you have to serialize things into to a type, but it all starts out as a string that needs to be parsed into the correct type. And this is what the content type header is for. So the header is just a way for you to set a value that represents, all right, this is the stuff that I'm sending to you, server. This is how you're, like, basically you're explaining what the package, like what's in the content that you're sending. So if we now look at the server here, we see here that we have this little root element here, or this root post endpoint where we get our request and our response. We grab the body and we extract the username and the password, and then we simply check if username is foo and password is equal to bar, and then we're going to send back a 200. Otherwise, we're going to send back a 400. Now, the magic here is that the body here, this is the way that you in Express at the very, this is Express specific. So this is where you will find the posted data. But if I don't have, let's say that I remove this little line here and I run the same test again. Did you notice the error here? So we got an error here. Okay, we expected 200, okay, got 400, bad request. So what's happening now is that we can't serialize the information. Basically what we're doing here is that we can't figure out what information is being sent. If we remove all of it, so there's no parsing going on whatsoever, we run the test again, we see that we have several errors. Actually, all of these tests are now failing because we can simply not parse the information. And this is where this idea of, like in Express at the very least, this is where you have this idea of parsing a payload. So what you're doing here is that you're declaring that you're basically just declaring a module. So this is going to be run on every payload that's coming in. So you use the Express JSON middleware to allow you to tell Express that, all right, this is how you parse JSON. So if somebody sends a request with a content type of application JSON, or it doesn't have to be exactly application JSON, there's I think there's text JSON as well, but you have to express there. You can go and read up on that. There's a few ways of declaring how JSON is actually supposed to be parsed, but this is this is the most common case. Application JSON is like the most common way of expressing the content type for JSON. So what's now happening is that you're saying that to express that, hey, if somebody sends me a request with the content type of application JSON, this is how you parse it so that you can convert it into the body element. So that's what's going on. So if we look at, say, returns 200, so now all I did in this test to make it pass is that I changed the username and the password to bar, but we're still using JSON, right? Now, The second most common thing that you will find when you're posting information and where the content type usually matters. Now there are more ways of parse, like there's more stuff that you could use for content type, but these two are usually the most, these are the common cases. So this is for JSON, this is what you will most likely find in JavaScript land, and here we have application XWW form URL encoded. I did not make up this name, guys, but this basically means that you're posting a form. You're just posting a static form, like somebody clicked a form on a web page and it's posted a request. There's no JavaScript or anything like that. This can be done with just HTML if you wanted to. Now, that's where the parser for the URL, this URL encoded middleware comes in. So this allows you to parse that information. But if we have a look at, you see, we're posting to the root here. So did you notice that we can still send like we're still like this is the same endpoint, so we're posting this to the same this to the same endpoint basically. So what's happening now is that when you were sending a content type of URL encoded or form URL encoded, this middleware runs, and we are left with a body object in our JavaScript code that has the same shape and the same structure as if we were using the JSON middleware. So this is basically how you send information from the client to an Express server. I hope this made sense to you, and have a great day.